Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and today we have ourselves the 4th consecutive day of Kill Team 2021 news, and today it is in fact Kill Team 2022 news because it is the annual. Wow. Now I think we all knew the annual was coming, let's not lie, let's not kid ourselves, let's not pretend we actually thought this was a dead game despite what we might like to decry, warcry online. No, we knew this was coming. This is standard operating procedure for GW, okay? You get the annual. I would say if I had to critique it at all, and I do, because I have to pretend I'm not just a GW shill on the payroll with stock in the company, I would say annual's a bit of a lame terminology. They could have gone with, so is compendium. You know what? Some sort of codex, some sort of thing like that. A grimoire. You know what? Where is my Kill Team grimoire? Anyway, let's discuss. Okay, let's go through this article. What are they giving us? Headline it for us, Andy. Obviously, we have the Rogue Traders, the Gellerpox Infected, the Elucidian Starstriders, and we even have some data cards for them. But before we get to that, let's read something else. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We're going to look at the data cards, but first I want to point something out. This 152-page tome is the essential companion for Kill Team. Wasn't the compendium the essential companion? We've moved on from the compendium. Good point, GW. Well done. Collecting rules and background previously published in White Dwarf magazine and adding brand new missions and operatives. Now, the way they've phrased this, adding brand new missions and operatives, is it poor phrasing? Or am I making a mistake here? It seems like they're saying brand new missions and operatives to the White Dwarf teams we've already seen. Or am I misreading that? I think that's just me interpreting something that isn't there. Guys, is this sentence raw or rye? I need to know. You know, what's the raw and the rye on this? Because I'm thinking, hold on now. If we're getting, let's say, for example, Wormblade, the Genestealer Cult's specialist team from White Dwarf, but they're going to give us another character, for example, the Reductus Saboteur or something, or a Psycho, one of the Megas. I'm like, that would be huge. And if they then did that for all of the White Dwarf teams, I can't believe that. I feel like that's me reading that sentence incorrectly. Anyway, let's keep going. Because chief among these are the Elucidian Starstriders and the Gellerpox Infected. I kind of assume that's what they mean by new operatives, right? There's also an implication that maybe it's not just because it says chief among these, right? Implying that those aren't the only ones. 2 factions from the Kill Team of yore, both of which receive full up-to-date rules and return to the shelves as standalone sets. Big hype, thank you. The Elucidian Starstriders are the original shipborne Kill Team, battling the dangers of the void long before those whippersnappers from the Imperial Navy showed up. Their rogue trader boss and her coterie of aides grant the Voidsman crew access to advanced tech and powerful support abilities, including covering fire from the ship itself. Ooh, funky. You know, that sounds super cool. So, like, in an outdoor map, you can have, like, orbital bombardment. I love a good orbital bombardment, honestly. There's nothing fluffier than orbital bombardments, in my mind. That's super cool. I like that. They have really spiffy uniforms. They took it down a notch. I was getting hyped for orbital bombardments. Now they're talking about spiffy uniforms. Let's read the Voidsman. Let's zoom in for you. Here we go. So this dude here is our heavy weapons guy. What do we got? So we see the lasgun. That is a standard Imperial Guard lasgun, hitting on 4s, not 5s, which is good. 2-3, yep, it's a lasgun. We've got APL 2, move 3, GA1, defense 3, save 5s, wound 7. Okay, so standard dude. All right. Rotor cannon. This is going to be the definer. Is this good? 4-ups. Okay. 3-4. So it's a bolter. Fusillade heavy. We all know that Fusillade is bad. Cool. Even with 6 shots, Fusillade is bad. The only Fusillade relevant weapon is I can't remember the name of it ever. The Thousand Suns gunner who has I'm just going to call it a warp fire cannon. Let's just call it that. I know that's not what it's called, but that's the one I mean. Soul Reaper cannon. There you go, maybe. That works with Fusillade because it's 6 shots and it has AP1. That's what makes that work. I say now that any weapon with Fusillade, but not AP1, you can ignore Fusillade. I think that's a very safe thing to say. So it has Fusillade and Heavy. Heavy is a negative, Fusillade is not a positive. So this is just a 6 attack, 4 up, 3/4 bolter. Okay, cool. It's not the worst gun. But when you're 50/50s because of the 4 ups, you're getting 6 attacks. That's 3 hits, 3/4. Okay, he's not blowing me away. I'm going to be honest. I would have. I guess we have to see. Obviously, with that team specifically, you're really looking at the specialists. I imagine the specialists there are going to be what define the team, as they should be. I would also suspect, just from remembering the Voidsman, the Elicidian Star Striders, it would be a 1-box team, as in you don't swap any of you out. You get all the specialists, and then, yeah. I think that'll be a nice team. It's a good team. Perfect for kill team. Their adversaries are the Gellerpox Infected, spawned from a techno-organic plague that seeps from corrupted warp drives. These followers of Nurgle can overwhelm enemies with incredibly tough Nightmare Hulks, shambling Gellerpox mutants, and a swarm of Gribbly minions. So naturally, of course, they give us just the standard data sheet. They don't let us see the Nightmare Hulk. Very sad, very sad. However, what do we got here, lads? It's standard, typical, baseline Nurgle movement of 2 circle. Rough. That's not great. That's not great. It is GA2. Just off the top of my head, the Gellerpox mutant, you got 4 in the box. Okay. Now, the Gellerpox team, it has too many models to be you get all of these teams. I imagine the baseline team would be 14 models. This includes all of your little Gribbly monster things and your flies and your stuff. But then you will be able to swap a Nightmare Hulk out. And I might go so far as to say that a Nightmare Hulk might be 3 selections. Yeah, 3 selections. How about that? It'll be the first thing there's been 3 selections. Anyway, Frag Grenade. Oh. Well, hold on now. There are 4 Gellerpox mutants, and if they're all armed with a Frag Grenade, legally you can only take 1? That's going to be interesting, right? Oh, FAQ's messing them up. Anyway, it's 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 2/3. Range, yep, that is a Frag Grenade. Cool. A Heavy Axe. 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, 4/5. Brutal. Not bad. Obviously, only having 3 attacks hitting on 4s is not great. It means that any kind of competent meleeer will still beat you, because of course they will just parry your 1 hit, and then you're kind of done. Improvised weapon and mutated limb, 4, 4, 2, 3, relentless. Okay, that's probably where I'd be heading with that, because the 4 with relentless means that you're probably guaranteed 3 hits, etc. Revoltingly resilient, let's just assume that's disgustingly resilient, but GW continues with its penchant for liking to use different names for the same abilities, so it's a 5-up, feel no pain. Techno Curse, we don't know what that is, cool. Gellercaused Masks. Each time this operative fights in combat or a shooting attack is made against it, and the resolved successful hit step of that combat or shooting attack, each time an attack dice would inflict critical damage on this operative, you could use that attack dice to inflict normal damage instead. Each time. So you cannot crit a Gellerpox mutant. Interesting. Now this is Gellercaused Masks. I assume, therefore, that this is only the mutants that get this, and it's not a Gellerpox-wide ability, whereas Revoltingly Resilient and Techno Curse probably are Gellerpox-wide abilities, whatever they may be. There we go. They're one of the most durable kill teams to ever enter the kill zone. Ooh. Not least because the Techno Curse that follows them causes ranged weapons to splutter and fail in their presence. Interesting. Is it going to be something like, I don't know. I don't know what that means at all. Maybe before you can make your shots, you have to, you only fire on a 4-up. If you're within 6 inches, you have to roll a 4 up before you can make your attack? Or is it going to be, no, that it should not be that. What it should be is any model within 6 inches gets -1 to its attack with a ranged weapon, right? So instead of a bolter being 4 shots, it would become 3 shots when within 6. The 2 kill teams from the recent Morok box, the Phobos Strike team and the Blooded, are also on the way for a standard release alongside the terrain and rulebook from that set. And then they just tell us things we already know. Yeah. Cool. I'm not going to read those bits out. We don't need them because we know these. Kill Team Annual 2022 also brings back 4 teams from White Dwarf, Hunterclade, Warp Coven, Wormblade, and Void Dancers. That is all we've gotten, right? Man, it feels like we got more, but you know what? Yeah, in a year, we only got 4. Huh. Each places forces from Warhammer 40k into Kill Team in exciting new ways, including special operatives not previously available to their factions. Wow. Wow. We are getting new operatives for all of the White Dwarf teams. Games Workshop. Why do you cuck me so hard? Why would I have bought the White Dwarf teams if now the White Dwarf teams are not complete? Oh my god. Be still, my beating heart. Games Workshop, you just gave us free rules and now you're making me re-buy the rules. What the? Jeez, okay. I mean, so look, I don't care. Okay, I don't care because I was going to buy the annual anyway. And I don't like that right now, the only way you can get these teams is on Wikipedia. So if you want to play these teams, you had to go and buy the annual anyway, whatever. But like, let's move on. Let's move on. Cucked again, everybody. Cucked hard. The Hunterclade is a specialist adept of mechanics and formation of Skitarii Scars, assembled to secure blah. They've taken it out of me. How could they do this to us? Jeez. Anyway, what I really wanted to say about this bit is why are they telling us this? Why are they they're not showing us the new things, right? They're just showing us the stuff that already exists, okay? We know a Skitarii Ranger Surveyor. We know a Sorcerer. We know a Kelemorph. We know a Shadow Seer. These aren't new. Why are they telling us these ones? Good question. It's not for us. If you're on this channel, these aren't for you. We know that. These are for the people, fingers crossed, the one person out there that saw the free rules earlier this week and said, hey, free rules for Kill Team. Oh, look, Intercessors. I'm a 40k player. I have loads of Intercessors. Whether I'm a Marine player or not, I have that Kill Team. And there's free core rules. Suddenly I'm going to pay a little bit more attention. Oh, an annual. Hey, that's a new rulebook, a place for me to get started. I've got the light rules. I've got the Intercessor team. Oh, but you know what? I'm a Skitarii. I'm an Admech player. I'm a Thousand Suns player. The 3 of them that exist. I'm a Genestealer Cults player. Nobody plays them, so that's irrelevant. People obviously do play Harlequins, but those are really only meta chasers. Meta slaves, actually. Meta slaves in 40k, so maybe not them too. But I'm sure some people want to play Admech, sure. In Kill Team. And those people will see this and suddenly they'll be saying, oh, you know what? Yeah, okay. I want to get into that. Right. Let's take those light rules. Let's take those Intercessors. Let's sit down. Let's play a game. That's who this bit is. That's who this article is for. This stuff up here, this is for us. This is for us. The Voidsman, the Gellerpox Mutant. This is super cool. This is for us. The rest of the article, that's for them. That's for the new players. That's for the free players. And I say good. I say yes, please. I also say Games Workshops, please stop cucking me. I do not enjoy it. That is not my fetish. Thank you, though. I mean, thank you, but less of that, please. Okay? All right, thank you. You did so good earlier. And then you did so good with the free rules, and then you gave us the battle report, and okay, that was behind a paywall, but I paid for it anyway, so it was fine, and then I could share it with people, so it was good, and we're going to share these rules as well. That's how Wikipedia works. And like, come on, man. Okay, anyway, lovely. Right, I'm over that. I'm over that now. Okay. Anyway, that was my little freak out. I was going to buy the annual anyway. Literally didn't matter what was in it, because quite genuinely, for example, the AdMech team, okay, so my White Dwarf subscription began on the month of the AdMech team, because I was hyped for Kill Team and I heard that we were going to be getting new teams in it. It began with that month, and I thought I had started it in time to get that month's White Dwarf. Turns out I was like 3 days too late, so I never got the AdMech White Dwarf. I had always just assumed it was late to turn up. Never got it. So I actually don't have the AdMech rules. Isn't that crazy? Like, the #1 Kill Team content player, man, person, thing, Warp Beast, arguably, Warp Spawn. I don't have the Skitarii AdMech rules. Right? Crazy. So anyway, I'm hyped. I was going to be picking up the annual anyway. Yeah, so the fact that I now get more bang for my buck because something in there won't already be in there from the White Dwarf, which of course I just use from Wikipedia, is like, okay, cool. But it's still frustrating, isn't it? Like, what were they thinking on that one, right? You know what? It's fine. I'm over it. Ooh, gonna be so interesting. Like, just adding new options. How are they going to do it? Are they going to increase the size of each team by 1 and you could just take 1 new model? Ooh, are they going to give them all a new leader option? So like the AdMech get to take the Marshal, whereas the Thousand Suns get to take Magnus, and the GC Cops get to take, I don't know, what do they have? The Magi, the dude, and Harlequins, they get to take, presumably, I don't know, nobody should play Harlequins. Boy Dancer's broken, don't play him. Anyway, guys, this has been Glass Half Dead, just covering another bit of news. I'm really excited to see the annual. Who knows what's in it, right? It's going to be a complete game changer. This is what I like. The last edition of Kill Team, they released changes for every faction at the same time, and I loved it. Every however much, 6 months, a year, whatever, the entire game changes. This time, we're getting 2 new teams and modifications to 4 other teams. Love it. Absolutely a big fan, because it's going to completely change the game. Like, absolutely, completely change the game. Really excited for it. This is super cool. I hope. Fingers crossed. As you can tell, I had a little freak out there, but I'm back on board now. Back on ship. Back shilling. That's me. That's me. Glass half shill. Glass shill dead. Shill half dead. That's me. Guys, this has been Glass Half Dead, or Sir Shills a lot. I'm hyped. Are you hyped? I am. Are you ready for the entire game to change more than ever before? I mean, maybe even more than Into the Dark. Certainly more than any of the big expansion boxes, because those are just 2 new teams. Well, now we've got 2 new teams and 4 modified teams. It's going to be huge. Guys, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a good day and continue to have a good day. Goodbye.